Hello and welcome to Q Skills 2 Reading and Writing, Unit 5 Grammar. And today we're going to look at adjectives. Okay, there's a lot of information here, so you will need a pen and paper, and I will ask you to pause the video at several points. So, first we will have a quick review. What's a noun and what's an adjective? Then we'll look at what are adjectives. Then I'll ask you to practice finding the adjective in a sentence. Then I will ask you to compare two people or two things. And yes, then I will ask you to try and remember some of this information. After that, we'll compare two things using short adjectives. And short adjectives are small words like big, small, nice. And then comparing two things using long adjectives. For example, beautiful, magnificent, amazing. After that, we're going to use adjectives when one thing is very special and unique. And when one thing from a list is special using short and long adjectives. Then we'll look at the book, so you need Q Skills 2 Reading and Writing Unit 5. And finally, we're going to look at the LMS and do two exercises there from Unit 5. Okay, let's start with a quick review, nouns and verbs. So the question is, what is a noun? Do you remember? Do you know? Well, let's look. It is the name of a person, an object, or an animal. For example, a boy, a car, a camel. So that's easy. That is the name of something, a noun. Now, what is an adjective? Well, an adjective is a word that tells you information about a noun, a person, or an animal. So it tells you about a boy, it tells you about a car, and it tells you about a camel, for example. Let's look at some examples. I am intelligent. That's true. This word is an adjective. It's telling you about me. It was a difficult class. This is an adjective. It's telling you about the noun, class. And are you worried? This is a question, is an adjective asking about you. And finally, Norway is beautiful. Beautiful is an adjective. It's telling you information about Norway. So this is a noun. It's the name of something. This is an adjective. And it's a word that gives you more information about the noun. And here's one more example. I bought a new car last week. Okay, now it's time to review a little bit. Let's look at the next one. What is an adjective? Can you remember? Well, an adjective is a word we use to tell us about a noun. So a noun meaning a person, an object, or an animal. Let's look at some examples. A big house, a small garden, a hot summer, a cold winter, a tall man, a nice day, a good breakfast, bad weather. These words here are adjectives. Now these adjectives are very short, and this is important that you know whether the adjectives have one syllable, so one sound, so big, small is kind of one sound. And some adjectives are longer, like fantastic, lovely, beautiful, amazing, interesting, boring, perfect. If you listen to this one, fantastic, it has kind of three sounds. Fantastic. Lovely, it has two. Beautiful, it has three. This is really, really important in this lesson. If it has one syllable, or fantastic, three syllables, or like lovely, two syllables. Some adjectives are very short, they have one syllable. Big, small, hot, cold. And some adjectives are longer, they have two or more syllables. For example, perfect has two, boring has two. Now it's over to you to practice. What I want you to do is find where is the adjective in these sentences. Maybe there's more than one. And when you found the adjective, answer this question. How many syllables are there in each adjective? I would like you to pause the video and try this, okay? So for example, number 1, we're having a great time. Great is the adjective. And how many syllables does it have? Great has 1. Now, I'm going to give you the answers. I hope you got the same as me. If not, you need to review the previous slides. Okay. We're having a great time. That's the adjective. It has 1 syllable. I'm not sure which is the right answer. Right is the adjective because it's telling us about answer, which is the noun, and it's 1 syllable. Are you busy tomorrow? Busy is the adjective, and it's telling us it has 2 syllables. And busy is telling us about you. I love Arabic food. It tastes so good. Well, Arabic is an adjective. How many syllables does Arabic have? It has 3. It tastes so good, and good has 1. I need to buy a new car. That has 1 syllable. The lesson was really interesting. Interesting. It has 3 syllables. Please remember, when you're working with adjectives, ask the question, how many sounds are there in each adjective? Because you need this. Now you're going to need some pen and paper. Okay, but first, a quick review. We use adjectives to describe people, objects, and things. So let's continue. We are now comparing 2 people or things. When we compare 2 things, we need to change the adjective a little, you will see. For example, we want to compare 2 cars, and a Mustang and a Maserati. Now, both are fast cars, but a Maserati is faster than a Mustang. The adjective fast, we've changed it. It's now faster. Both cars are expensive. A Maserati is more expensive than a Mustang. And here we've got the adjective expensive, but we've put the word more in front of it. How strange. Please notice, in some adjectives we add er to the word, for example, faster. And in other adjectives we put more in front of the adjective, for example, more expensive. Now I have a question for you. Why? But before we answer that question, do you remember? Some adjectives have only 1 syllable. For example, big, small, nice, good, bad, fast, slow. Words that are very short. And some adjectives have 2 sounds or 3 or 4 syllables. For example, heavy, terrible, boring, interesting, beautiful, expensive. So, when we compare 2 things using short adjectives, and what are they? Big, small, okay, the ones with 1 syllable. The number of syllables is really important. We add er to the adjective with 1 syllable when we are comparing 2 things, and this is also important, 2 things. For example, my house is larger than yours. Large is the adjective, we add er to the end, and also the word than. Another example, we need to buy a smaller car. Small is the adjective, and we add er to the end. Now, there are 2 adjectives that do not follow this rule. We don't add er to good, and we do not add er to bad. Now you have to learn these, I'm afraid. My brother's results were better than mine. When we're comparing, the word good becomes better, completely different. Or, my results were worse than my brother's. We don't say better, we say worse. So you really need to learn these. And there's one more. Adjectives with 2 syllables and ending with the letter Y. And what does that mean, you're asking me? For example, busy is an example. We change the Y to I. And ugly is another example. Uglier. We change the Y to I. Now that is short adjectives, but what about long adjectives? Well, adjectives with 2 or 3 syllables. We add more or less to the adjectives with 2 or more syllables when we're comparing two things. For example, my house is more modern than yours. Modern has 2 syllables, so we put more before it. Your house is less modern than mine. Another example, your university is more expensive than mine. My university is less expensive than yours. Expensive is expensive. It has 3 syllables. Now over to you. I need you to practice. I want you to compare two things. Add er after the adjective, so like smaller, nicer, or add more before the adjective, more expensive, more interesting. Okay, here we go. Pause the video. These are the adjectives here. Put the correct form here, and then we'll check the answers. Okay, here are the answers. Nicer than, older than, because it's 1 syllable. Busier than demain. The ends in Y, so it's ER at the end. Better than, remember good is not gooder, but it's better. My writing is worse. I think maths is more interesting, because interesting has 3 syllables. Do you think England is more beautiful than Italy? Now that's good when we're comparing two things, but what happens when we want to say that one thing from a list is special? Often we do this and we want to mention one thing for some particular reason. When we do this, we need to change the adjective a little again. For example, imagine in our class we have Ahmed, Adam, Abdullah, Mohsin, and James, and we're all not the same size. Well, which one is Adam? One of these is special. Yeah, that's me. So, because Adam is 1.85 m, I want to talk about Adam, but comparing him with all the others, not just 2. So what I do is this. I'd say Adam is the tallest person in the class. I'm talking about more than 2 people. So Adam is the tallest, as I said, and Ahmed is the shortest person in the class. And here again, we're talking about more than 2 people. So, what have we done with tall? And what have we done with the adjective short? We've changed it. Let's take a look. With short adjectives, we add the before the adjective and also add est to the end of the adjective to describe the one that's special. For example, the Burj Khalifa is the before the adjective, high is the adjective, and est is at the end, is the highest building in the world. It's special, it's in first place. Let's look at some more examples. Ahmed was the best student in the class. He's special. Here, the word good becomes best when we're talking about one that's special. Now, with long adjectives, we add the most before the adjectives to say that it's the top of the list. And we add the least before the adjective to say it's at the bottom of the list. For example, Adam is the most interesting teacher I have this year. Thank you. India was the least expensive place we visited. And the last one. What is the best film you've seen? Now it's over to you. What I'd like you to do is think, are we comparing two things in these questions or saying something special about one thing? I'd like you to look at these and try to make the correct form of the adjective. Okay, pause the video and choose the correct form of the adjective and put it in the space. Okay, here are the answers. Okay, did you get the same? If so, fantastic. If not, you need to review this video. Now, please go to your book and go to page 109, do exercises A and B, and then go to LMS and do the 2 exercises in Unit 5. Thank you for watching.